network, what are all the challenges we are focused? So there are the programming challenges are, the first one is event driven execution. So event driven execution, like it's just not while the programming is running at event, in between you want to interact. So that is possible when you're going for sensor network platform. So it consisting of event driven execution, it allows the systems to fall into low power sleeping mode when no events need to be processed. At the extreme cases, if you want to control the program, that is also possible when you're going for sensor network. So for that, they have a scheduled algorithm is also there. The next one is called as a node level software platform. So node level platform, which is called it as a node centric OS, and which provide hardware and network subtraction of a sensor network to programmers. Then here we can call it as a tiny OS. Tiny OS, which is nothing but it is an operating system. So this tiny OS, this is what the present technology. This is an operating system for modes which was used in the WSN. So tiny OS, we are having a static memory allocation system is there. It is like an analyzable reducing memory management, and we can able to support the hardware with your software device the tiny OS operating system is using. And it was tiny OS which was configured through Berkeley modes only. So it will supporting through a programming is called NESC. NESC, which is nothing but an embedded programming language, and it was used in Berkeley modes. So the program executed in tiny OS, it has two contexts. The first one is called it as a task, and the next one we call it as an event. So the tasks are posted by the component to a task scheduler, and it consisting of so many triggered event, and the events are like preempt by the task which was scheduled inside the tiny OS operating system. So just for avoiding blocking the entire system, it is also having one operation called as a split phase operation. So we have an imperative language. That language is called as an NESC. So it is an extension of C language, and this is the language supporting the tiny OS, that is your operating system. And this tiny OS, which is used in the sensor network, it provides an interface as a set of method calls export to your upper layer. So this is how the programming platform. You can able to see here the module. We have an time module, then interfacing, then you have an user interface. So this is the programming technology, like a programming tool they are using. So this is for this is like an example of interface definition of timer component, and here the another window, this is an implementation definition of another techniques. So this is how they have used the programming language in tiny OS. So just look at here. So this is how the error checking. So here you have a timer, then clock signal, then set rate and the fuse rate. Then you have a timer. So we can able to find out which mode is in stop, start, as well as timer offline and the timer fire location. That is also we can able to find it out through this language. So this data flow style language, we are having data flow language or intuitive for expressing computations on interrelated data unit by specifying the data dependencies. Then it is also called it as in whatever the program you are using in modules for producing the data inside the platform. So we have some simulator, and the simulators, we have a network simulator we used to call, and the simulators are like They are categorizing based on the performance study. It is related to power, bandwidth, etc. Based on that, the simulator configuration, they have their own sensor network. Then simulator 2, it is consisting of the following module, and the following modules are like sensor node model, then communication model, then physical environment, as well as statistic and visualizing. So your simulator module is consisting of these four categories. So timer concept, what they are doing means it will simulate the behavior with respect to time, and they are having two things. The first one is cycle driven. The next one is called a discrete event. So based on that it will work. So cycle driven means it is like it will discretize the continuous real time into ticks. So it will give like an tick marks for each cycle. Once the cycle is over, it will give the tick point. From that, the simulator can able to identify the discretization process. So the cycle driven simulation, they used to have an CD. So they are using the notation as CD alone. So using the CD simulator, we can able to easily identify the implementation and the use. So from that, we can able to detect and the dealing cycle dependencies among each nodes. The next one is called as in discrete event simulation. So discrete event simulator, it will assume here also the time is another factor. Here we have a global event queue to storing the data, and all the events are stored chronologically in the global event. So this is how your CD and DE is working. So you can just look at here your CD for each packet. Suppose like one big file is sending, for each file it will give an tick mark, but it is not possible in your DE concept. So for comparison of this DE and CDE, they are more actual, but they are more complex to design and implement. And the most popular sensor network simulators are DE simulator, like your NS2. Then another simulator we used to call in sensor network is NS2. It was like a wired network simulator, and it is used in 802.11 IEEE standard. So what are the protocols supporting for NS2? That is like time division multiplication device, then 802.11, then ad hoc routing, then sensor network routing. So these are the techniques were used. Then state-centric programming. So state-centric programming, which is like in centralizing the data into node. And the main thing is, the example is target tracking. So how they are tracking the object. That is what state-centric programming we used to call. So the state-centric programming is consisting of so many terms, that is like in state of system, then how many number of inputs, how many number of outputs, then how many updates indexer are used, then for updating function, then output observation. So generally when you are talking about the state-centric programming, we are having 6 notations we are using, and the notations will give you the state of the system and how many inputs are using and how many outputs, how the updating is over, and after updating the thing, how the functions are carrying out the whole process. Once the updation is over, how the observation. This is how your state-centric programming is employed in your sensor network. So this is how the model, it is like a control system, how the state model, you all heard about this. So the function of x of k plus 1, which is nothing but function of xk comma yk, and the output function yk, which is equal to g of xk as well as uk. So these are the two techniques were used in the control system, the same as it like in state model. So this is how the state-centric programming concept which is used in the sensor network. So this is how the state-centric programming. So we can able to identify how many data are stored, how many inputs are there, how many outputs, and how many functions are evaluated, and the acquisition of input is taken. So After that, we can able to identify the collaboration group, that is like geographical route. Then how the routing configuration, what are all the neighborhood group they are having. Then how the publishing, how the acquaintance. It is all involved in the sensor network. So all these things, how the publishing, how they are dynamically defining the thing, then how acquaintance groups, then collaboration. This is how your sensor network platform tools are configured. So this is how we can define the platform tools while we are talking of this sensor network modules.